What's up everyone, Danny Lighting back with another CSR2 video for another edition of the Ultimate Tuning Guide. In this video we're going to talk about how to tune to beat those pesky speed traps you might be stuck on, or how to tune your car to reach the fastest top speed possible. This is mainly for speed traps, but it'll work for top speed as well. Once you have a really good tune on your car, moving the transmission slider to the left increases the top speed, moving it to the right increases the acceleration, but that's where it gets a little bit funny. So moving this over this way does increase the top speed, but now we're losing acceleration. If you move that over to the left and you lose too much acceleration, sometimes it's not going to accelerate fast enough to hit that top speed before it crosses the finish line. So you have to have enough acceleration to get it to that top speed, so you have to find the right mix between acceleration and top speed in order to hit the top speed. So most of the time what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move the transmission slider to a position where it's giving me the fastest top speed for the quarter mile time instead of the half mile time. On a tier 4 or a tier 5 car, a lot of these speed trap races you get into don't give you the actual half mile. They only give you like a quarter mile or somewhere in between. So I actually do my tuning for top speed for the fastest quarter mile time, not the fastest top speed. What I notice is a lot of the times when the game puts you into one of those speed traps, it doesn't give you the full half mile. It actually makes you do it in a quarter mile or somewhere between like a quarter mile and a half mile. So what I do is I just move the transmission slider until I get the highest top speed on the quarter mile, which usually always gives me good acceleration as well. Now from here, once I get this dialed in, I'll come over here and I'll tune the tires, and I'll just kind of move it a little bit. I'll take a look, move it a little bit, take a look, and I'm just going to adjust that until it gives me the best top speed and best acceleration. Where you put the tires is going to be different on every car. If you don't have enough grip, sometimes you're going to have wheel spin that'll slow you down. Sometimes if you have too much grip, it'll get a sticky start. So you also got to find the right balance between grip and not enough grip. I don't know. You know what I mean? Again, for the quarter mile times. And then I'm going to come over to the nitrous and I'm going to do the same thing. Move it a little bit, dyno time. Move it a little bit, dyno time. Move it a little bit, dyno time. And when I see good acceleration and the best top speed for the quarter mile, now I'll start doing test runs, and I'm actually going to watch the quarter mile time and not the half mile time during the test run, just to make sure the car is going to hit the times we need. If not, we just readjust. If you notice the car is not hitting the top speed because it's not accelerating fast enough, then you know you don't have enough acceleration. That means you're going to have to move this a little bit more to the right. But the trick is finding the right balance between top speed, which is this way, and acceleration, which is this way. When you're racing Tempest, I believe the highest top speed you have to hit is 260 miles per hour, and that goes for tier 4 and tier 5. Generally, that's really easy to do on tier 5 cars, but there are quite a few tier 4 cars that are not able to hit 260 miles per hour no matter what you do. So that's something you got to think about. You got to find out if the car is actually capable first. Now, let's say you're in a regular race like a Prestige Cup or something like that, where you had to lock in a specific car. That car is always going to be capable to hit those times, but only if you have enough parts on it and you have it tuned correctly and you're shifting it correctly. Now, there's one more really important part to this, which is hitting your nitrous in the correct gear. Let's just say you normally hit nitrous on second gear. Well, you might actually need to change it to third gear or fourth gear or fifth gear, because generally on a lot of cars, that nitrous, if it's still going, it will boost the top speed out. But if it runs out before you cross the finish line, you might lose several miles per hour of top speed. So on some cars, you may need to hit the nitrous on a later gear than normal. But some sprint races will be a quarter mile, some may be a full half mile. I think most of them are either a quarter mile or a little bit longer. The majority of them are less than a half mile, which is kind of weird, but that's kind of how they got it set up. But it can take a bit of playing around with, a bit of trial and error. I remember there was times where I would spend 20-30 minutes just tuning to beat one of these races back when my car just didn't have enough parts on it. So if you got a good car and it's got enough parts on it, this should probably be a pretty easy thing to do. But if your car is kind of lacking parts and it's barely fast enough, it could be a big giant hassle to get it to do what you need it to do. So if you're doing like Tempest or something, make sure you got enough parts on the car. You don't need to be in a hurry for a lot of these things. Take it nice and slow. So bottom line is, play with the transmission slider first. Find the right mix between speed and acceleration. You have to make sure you have enough acceleration to get you to the top speed, because if you have a super high top speed and no acceleration, and it takes off the finish line like a snail, it's never going to make it to that top speed. After you think you have the transmission in a really good spot, move over to the tires and just kind of slightly adjust the tires a little bit. Check the dyno, adjust, check the dyno, adjust, check the dyno, till you seem to have a really good top speed. Then you're going to want to move over to the nitrous and do the same thing with the nitrous. Start doing test runs, see if it hits the top speed. If it doesn't, try and hit nitrous on second gear, then try and hit nitrous on third, then fourth, then fifth, then sixth, and see if hitting nitrous on a different gear is going to get you there. And if it doesn't, you either need to readjust, or you might need to have more parts on the car to make it there, or unfortunately it could be one of those cars that just can't hit good top speed. But if the car is capable and you have enough parts on it, this is the way you tune to hit that top speed. Now, if you just can't make it, there is one more thing you could try, which is, instead of tuning for the best quarter-mile top speed, tune for the best half-mile top speed. Give that a shot and see what happens. The majority of the speed traps seem to be quarter-mile races or somewhere in between, but every once in a while they may give you the full half mile. So hey, if you can't get it for tuning for the quarter mile, why not repeat the process and do it for the best half mile top speed and just see if that works. If not, you probably need to get more parts or use a different car. Every single car in the game is very different. It can definitely take some trial and error and some playing around with. I mean, I'm not kidding. There's times where it took me over an hour to sit there and tune for one specific race when I was doing Tempest. It was a nightmare, but you know, if I would have had more parts on the car, if I would have been patient and I had waited till I had enough parts, it might not have been so bad. But I was like, oh, I got to get this done today. I got to finish this now. Let's rush through it and waste a whole bunch of hours of my time messing around when I could have just, you know, did it at a later time and not worried about it. So, yeah. So if the event has a timer on it, then you may need to worry about getting it done quickly and getting through it. But if there's no timer on the event, that means that's going to set there. For example, Legends doesn't have a timer. Tempest doesn't have a timer. Most of the Elite Tuners, some do. The main Elite Tuners events don't have a timer, but unfortunately the add-ons do. So when you get to the races for like the Lexus LC500, the Corvette, the Ford Mustang, those do have a time limit. But the main Elite Tuners events don't. So if there's no timer on the event, there's no need to be in a rush to try and get through it. Just kind of wait till your cars are fast enough and then do it, and bam, you're going to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of headache. But, you know, if you get stuck on a speed trap, then hey, this video will help you tune through it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy the CSR2 content, don't forget to like and subscribe. The entire Ultimate Tuning playlist is going to pop up on the screen in just a second. That way you can see how to tune for general tuning, speed trap, sprint races. And I will be adding more videos to this playlist. This is just getting started. So anyways, thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. Huge shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys so much for helping to support the channel. I really appreciate you guys a lot. If you would like to become a channel member, just click the little join button right below the video. I would definitely appreciate that a lot. If not, that's okay too. If you drop down the video's description, you'll find my Discord server, my other YouTube channel, some other ways to help support the channel if you're interested, some game news, some info, and all kinds of stuff. So check that out. Thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. Lighting out. See ya.